Alright Guardians, this is our weekly solo players guide to the Nightfall. This is our Titan variant, so if you're new to the channel, we do this every single week, or at least until Destiny 2 comes out. Next week we will do all these guides again, that Tuesday, so look for those. Also look in the description box down below, because we do these with all three classes, Warlock, Hunter, and Titan. So if you need any of those, I'll look in the description box down below. We also do a Challenge of Elders guide every single Tuesday, though I think that will be done with after Destiny 2 comes out, so the week after. So you're looking at like September 12th. That's probably going to be the last one. Maybe. Depends. Anyways, so if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, because we're also going to do all kinds of Destiny 2 content. Don't worry about that. We'll do guides for days. I'm sure there'll be all kinds of videos to do, stuff you guys want to know about. If you guys have any requests when Destiny 2 comes out, go ahead and throw them in the comment section. Don't feel, I'm not going to get offended. Hey, will you make a video about this? Hell yes I will. So go ahead and hit subscribe and let me know what you want to see. But without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the modifiers for the week, as well as the setup, which includes weapon recommendations, subclass recommendations, all of that good stuff, and then we'll rock the guide. Modifiers this week include epic, heavily shielded, and highly aggressive enemies appear in great numbers. Fresh troops, some enemy squads have been fortified with additional reinforcements. Match game, enemy shields are resistant to all unmatched elemental damage, so if they have void shields, you're going to want void weapons to take them down. Catapult, grenade recharge rate is greatly increased, so throw lots of grenades. And then exposure, guardian shields are increased but do not replenish. That's a kind of a white lie. They will replenish, but it will be very, very slowly. Alright, so as far as setup goes, we start off with the Hand of Judgment. That's my second favorite scout rifle in the game. Probably the second favorite weapon in the game. But if you don't have something like this, really any scout rifle will do. If you got the Adept Doom Chelchis, or for the most of it, the Adept Steel Medulla, I believe is the Wrath of the Machine Pulse, which also does void. So anything that's void, if you got really any void weapons, are going to be key here. But if you don't have that, I would definitely go with some sort of high impact, low rate of fire scout rifle. You can go hand cannon for the first little while, but once you get to that boss fight, you are definitely going to want a scout rifle. I would highly suggest again a sniper rifle, so Devil's Dawn, Ex Machina, Event Horizon. If you got any of those in void, go ahead and drop those, or equip those, especially Devil's Dawn and Ex Machina. Those will do bonus damage to Fallen, and since the majority of these these enemies are going to be Fallen, minus the last boss, I think he counts as a hive enemy, I'm pretty sure, so that kind of sucks, but for the most part you can at least get those major captains out of the way. And then I would also suggest a void machine gun or rocket launcher for your heavy, and then maybe even a Gallahorn. That's going to help out a lot as well. And then we're rocking Armamentarium for double grenades and Sunbreaker. What you want, or what you probably should want, is Cauterize. Definitely. Enemies brought down by your fire regenerate your health, so any grenades, melee kills, or your super kills, all those are going to grant a small chunk of your life back. So I would highly suggest you run Cauterize. Explosive Pyre, enemies felled by your hammer explode, chaining fiery solar damage to others. That's pretty awesome. I'm running Thermal Vent, but if you want to do Stoke the Forge, Melting Point's always pretty decent as well. I would definitely go Forge Master, throw more hammers, and hammers cause bigger explosions. And then I go through all three of these. I would suggest Thermite Grenade all the way up until the boss fight, and then I would go Incendiary Grenade. So other than that, let's go ahead and rock this guide. Alright, so right off the bat, you're in the Nightfall section. Now, if you want to, you can skip all these ads in this bridge. Just go to the left side of the bridge and you can just run straight across and skip them. However, I would highly suggest you kill everything in here, just so you hit the gold medal completion before you even reach the boss fight. That way you can really take your time doing it. I mean, in this section there's only going to be some vandals, a few acolytes, there's one major captain. He's going to be a little bit of a pain if you don't have any void weapons. So just keep that in mind. Rock this captain out real quick. There's going to be a wave of shanks, and I think it's vandals, might be dregs. Nothing too drastic at all to worry about. And then there's going to be a fallen ship that drops another wave of enemies, and that's just going to be some more vandals. You can easily take them out with a couple grenades or a super if you have it. To be honest though, I would suggest holding on to your super. Just rock those grenades. It won't take very long at all to finish all these guys off. So just go ahead and do that, and we'll move on to the next section.
Splicers are using SIVA to augment the silo's old defense protocols. They've got the inner doors sealed tight. If you want to get inside,
Alright, so once you get here, go ahead and pop your super. Just go ahead and take out all of these guys over here. Should be fairly quick and painless. Go ahead and try and get those guys on the stairs, and then make sure you shoot the SIVA cluster. I think it's right behind me right now. Go ahead and get these last couple acolytes as well as this knight. You can take them both, all three of those guys out really easily. And then you should be good to go ahead into the next section. Now once this door opens up, there are going to be 2 major vandals as well as 2 invis vandals. So just be careful of them. Maybe if you got a Galahorn, go ahead and rock them with that. Otherwise, just keep throwing grenades. They should go down fairly quickly, and you'll be able to move on into the next section. Alright, so once you kill those 2 drags, go ahead and pop right back down, unless you need that heavy box now. I would save it for later if you need it. Otherwise, in this room, there's going to be like a solid, what seems like 10 shanks, and then this major captain. Go ahead and take them all out. A few grenades, if you place them a little bit better than I do here, should take all the shanks out really quickly. And then that way you'll just have to worry about the boss, or not the boss, but the major. If you have like this void machine gun, it'll take down his shields really quick, and it'll do a bunch of damage. I wish there was a burn this week, but unfortunately there's not. So go ahead and just take him out. And then once you kill all these guys, you just go ahead, head over to these stairs. There's going to be 4 more vandals. I go ahead and pop my super. You don't have to, obviously, if you don't want to. if you're running it like I do, as you can see, one hammer will kill all those vandals. And then you just have to worry about this captain. Go ahead and take him out. And then you're ready to move on to the next section. In this section, there's going to be 2 major servitors, as well as 4, what are they called? 4 vandals. I don't know why I keep forgetting those guys. Sometimes they're all in this room. Otherwise, they're going to be split up in between this room right that I'm standing next to, and then one just off and to the right. Looking for that Gallahorn. This is where that really comes in handy, is this section in particular. So go ahead and just rock that away. And then once you get into the next little Siva cluster area, there is going to be 2 major vandals, one in the far back, one on the right side. There's going to be a couple dregs in the middle, as well as one normal bard captain. So once you take all of them out, go ahead and take out the Siva cluster. Sometimes it's on the ground, and other times it's in a hole in the wall on the right. So whatever it is, your tracker should be able to take care of it just fine. And then you'll be good to go on to the next section. Alright, so once you do get here, kind of stand back and just kind of spam your grenades. You want to be doing as much damage as possible. Take out as much of these guys as possible. There are going to be like 4 major vandals, 1 major captain. So go ahead and take them all out. And then you also want to stand back, because if those turrets see you, they will melt you pretty quick. So just go ahead and take them out if you have to get at all close. And then just take out this captain and you'll be ready to move on into the final section before the boss. Alright, so once you move here, there's going to be like 2 or 3 dregs on the left, or the right, that's the right side. And then there's going to be, I think there's 2 or 3 major vandals down here, so just go ahead and take them all out before you move on. 1 you'll be able to see, 2 kind of hide in the room until you kind of drop down. So be very careful of them. If you can, just kind of throw your grenades in the room. It usually keeps them in there. This time it obviously did not. But otherwise, just kind of hang out outside the room, because just on the right side, around that corner, there's also a major captain. So be very careful of him. Again, void weapons will work wonders here. And then that guy somehow got back inside the room. But then once you go ahead and head on in, there's going to be a couple shanks in the far back as well, and then you should be cleared to get this cluster. Alright, so in this next drill, you're going to be pretty clear. There's going to be 2 dregs, and then you're going to be shot from the back. Go ahead and just pop into the room. You should be alright, because there is a sniper shank on the back side of you. And then inside, there's going to be about 4 or 5 shanks, as well as a servitor, not a major, so that's going to be just really easy to take care of. Go ahead and take care of them. And with all these dregs, I think there's like 3 dregs in here, 3 or 4. And then you're going to be able to get that sniper shank on your way out. There he is. And then just go ahead and follow the path into the final room. Hopefully you get this one. Sometimes there's one where you have to go downstairs and into a room with a servitor and all of that. I like this one because you can literally just pop in, explode the Siva cluster, take care of this guy, and you should be good to go into the final boss. Sometimes that last Siva cluster is that room I just picked up or just popped in, but there's also a chance that you have a heavy box in there as well. That's why I was looking, but there wasn't. So once you do that, go ahead and scan the ogre, and then just go ahead. I would not pop your super because I think for some reason that messed me off the track here on this little cheese glitch. It's cheese, it's not a glitch, but for some reason it popped me off, and it eventually kind of killed me. So we'll go ahead and just edit this out, and we'll go on to the actual successful part of this guide. Alright, so what you're looking for is there's going to be this little bar. You want to just kind of get on to the back of that, as close to that as possible, and then you can just kind of crouch up and down, rock as much special ammo as you can into Kovic, I guess his name is. Then shoot all your heavy, whatever you got. Just make sure you don't take too much damage. Also, if you go too far to the left, it will knock you off of this little thing, and you will get like a death screen, or you'll slide down and you'll probably end up dying. And conversely, if you go too far to the right, you will also fall off, and you'll have to very quickly jump back up there, which is kind of a little bit harder to do under pressure. So just be very careful of that. And then either bring a bunch of special ammo synths with you, or bring your icebreaker if you have that. And then you should just be good to go. Let that charge, keep shooting. And then he is going to move around the room a lot, so just kind of keep in mind where he is. The ads normally don't spawn in. I have noticed that the very final wave of Fallen do spawn in now for some reason. Before they would just kind of stay back. So just be careful of them. And then also, of course, once you get them down to about 1/3 of health, there is going to be a wave of about 10 to 12 shanks. So just keep an eye on them. Be very careful how you throw your grenades. I did almost kill myself once or twice. But once you find just the right area to stand on this bar, and then to throw out just like that, you should be able to hit him, because he will hide behind that little pillar thing right there for a little while. Then he will move like kind of under you, so you'll be able to shoot him a lot. Usually just before he goes under you, or when he starts coming towards you, that's when the shanks are about ready to spawn in. So just keep an eye out around the room for them. They do come from the ceiling, so keep that in mind. And then pretty much just be careful. Once you get him out from right underneath you, he will go kind of down just in front of you, close to you, like kind of where he starts off at, but a little closer, if that makes sense. So be aware of that. And then, and the very final, like 5th or 6th of his health, he will kind of move to the far back area of the room. So you can just really easily just kind of pick them off and toss your grenades all the way across the room. Hopefully hit them. But other than that, I think I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. I didn't speed up the last one. It might have annoyed some people, I don't know. So we're going to speed it up just a little bit so you can still see what's going on. And then rewards are at the end if you're interested in that. If you're new to the channel, like I said at the beginning, go ahead and hit subscribe. Look in the description box for more guides. And then, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.